Howdy folks, another quick art note this week. Just finished the Australian Photographic Prize. The awards got adjudged over the last 2 weeks and the winners were announced last night, and there's some exceptional work there. So I encourage you to go and have a look at the website. I assume it has been updated now with all the award winners, if not very soon. And go look at the live streams of all the judging of categories you like and categories that are of interest, because you'll learn stuff from lots of feedback and judges and things like that. So today I have a few things to finish up with the awards, which is giving feedback. One of the things you could do if you entered was ask for critique, written critique. And I am doing that for a bunch of images. And I think the thing I want to talk about with critique is asking for it and how to take it. Asking for it's good. Asking it from people who you respect and know have knowledge is excellent. In this instance, the image creators won't know which judge gave critique. It might be obvious based on the comments and that, but it shouldn't be. But the idea is that it is somebody who was obviously a judge and they're an expert in their field and are expert in photography, so their opinions should be valued. That being said, critique is about being vulnerable to take somebody else's opinion and listen. And the thing about it is, it doesn't have to be what you want to hear, and it can be affirming and it can be disappointing. But the way to take it is look at what the person who's giving you critique is saying as fresh eyes, as somebody who is looking at it without any of the knowledge of the creation potentially or anything to that nature. It's just like, this is how somebody who's really just coming fresh at it and is saying what they feel could help to elevate your work or that image in particular, depending if that's something that can be changed after the fact. You do not need to take any of that on board, or you could take it all on board, but don't be disheartened, because the idea is to help you. Helping, the language that is used is part of the challenge as well for people giving critique. You don't want to be negative, but you want to be reassuring that you're on the right track, but you need to work on all things you could work on. So suggesting like, how about fixing this idea or changing that? Would it work this way? And some of those things that might actually be suggested are things that you have purposely put in, which the person who's giving critique doesn't actually know and has missed the point. And that's fine, because that's the reason why sometimes asking critique from multiple people is actually sometimes useful. But even if you only get critique from one person, be steadfast in the knowledge that they're there to help you and not tear you down. When you get that critique, look at it, try and take your bias and thoughts out of, because you're emotionally attached to the work, and go, oh yeah, I see what you mean. Oh yeah, I think I see what you need there. You could play with it, use it. Some of them are going to be really obvious. There's dust spots. There's things like that you need to fix. That's fine. Something like the horizon's crooked. That could be something that's you want to change, or it could be something you've deliberately left in, or there's too much space on that side of the image. That is also potentially a choice that you've made deliberately and the person doesn't understand that, but that is fine. Use it as a sounding board to maybe reaffirm what you want to do, and maybe see things that you've not actually caught because you've been too attached to the process, to the image. But best of all, just enjoy the fact that somebody else is looking at your work and helping you to get better, and use that as a springboard when you go out and create more work to go, oh yeah, that idea was there. Maybe I'll give that a go. It's tricky and it's a hard thing to do sometimes. We are very attached to our own work, but it is a way to become more fuller in the way you experience your work. And let's be honest, we all hate being critiqued, but we all need it at some point in time to elevate our work. So I'd love to know if you get critiques, who you get critiques from, how valuable they are, what some of the language you find useful, what some of the language you don't find useful. Um, and, write them down in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation about it because I find it tricky to give and tricky to accept as well. So we're all in the same boat. All right, so that's this week's Art Notes. Next week, I am hoping to be doing this in New Zealand. So I look forward to seeing New Zealand photographers soon. All right, catch ya.